It's always dangerous to start a homily with these words, but I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is I'm not going to be teaching tonight. Bad news is I'm still going to be preaching tonight. Actually, it's the last couple of weeks have been, well, challenging for me, I should say, because I've been having to move. I got evicted from the priest retirement center where I'd been living, so that some selfish old retired priest could move in there. So I've been moving into another place where I'm living right now. And I'd forgotten, even though I've done it so many times, I've forgotten how much I hate that. I had a friend come over from Eugene, and he actually helped me pack up a lot of my stuff. And in fact, just last night I was unpacking some of my kitchen things, and they were stuff that he had all packed up, and he packed them much more carefully than I would have for just a cross-town move. But I was pulling out things that he had packed that I didn't realize or remember that I owned. Where did I get this? Where did this come from? And I don't know if any of you have had the experience, but very often when it's time for you to pack your stuff, you have to deal with the word need. Something we kind of take for granted when we're just settled in. But do I need this? Do I need to pack this and take it with me? Well, I'm in a hurry, so I'll just pack everything up, and then when I get to my new house, then I'll figure out what I need and what I don't need. And so now I'm at my new place, and, well, I just want to get everything unpacked and put away, so I'll figure out later what I need and what I don't need. That word need can be so very, very tricky or difficult for us. Once upon a time, a mommy and a daddy were preparing to take their two children for 2 weeks vacation in the country. They had, as do so many mommies and daddies these days, a sports utility vehicle. They figured that they would travel light. For 2 weeks, you don't have to bring the whole house, do you? Since the SUV was big, it was easy to pile things into it. First of all, they packed clothes. Because you can never tell what you might have to do or where you might have to go at the lake or what the weather will be like. They really didn't pack any more things than they would need for, let's say, a trip to Paris. Moreover, they wanted their kids to look their best, so they packed comprehensive wardrobes for them too. You can never tell what might happen on a vacation, can you? Then there was the matter of toys and similar stuff. The weather might be bad, so they had to pack enough toys to keep the kids happy if they were imprisoned in a cottage for 2 weeks. But the weather might be good, so they had to pack enough toys that the kids wouldn't be bored on the beach. Then each of the kids had their favorite toys, without which they could not survive. Did I forget the family dog? Eventually, the SUV was fully loaded, and there was room for everything except the mommy and daddy. So they rearranged things. There was hardly room to breathe in the SUV. When they got to the lake, they had to unpack all their stuff. When their vacation was over, as alas, vacations tend to be, they repacked everything to drive home. Then, when they arrived home, they had to unpack everything. No one was talking to one another for 3 days. Does that sound familiar? Is that something that some of you that have taken your vacation already have having a flashback about? Jesus, in the gospel, as he commissions his followers and sends them out 2 by 2, he tells them to travel light. You don't need as many things as you think you might. Trust that you will be taken care of. A couple of months ago, somebody gave me a picture in a frame, and I've got it in my office now. It's a picture of Jesus, and he's got armloads of suitcases. 2 in his hand and a couple of others tucked under his arms. And the caption, Jesus is saying, "I've got your baggage. Now follow me." He challenges us to travel light. And we have to travel light inside if we are going to go out and proclaim the good news. If we are going to go out and live our faith with the spirit of joy and hope. We don't need all the baggage that we're carrying. And I'm not talking necessarily about material objects here. When we look in our hearts, what do we see we've been carrying for a long time? Maybe there's some sort of an ongoing grudge, a hurt from a long time ago. Maybe I tell myself, I need to hold on to that so that I don't let that other person who hurt me off the hook. Even though that other person probably isn't aware of it at all. But I'm still carrying it. I'm still weighed down by it. Why can't I let it go? Maybe there's a prejudice or an attitude. Maybe there's a fear. We pack up all of our stuff because we have fears that, well, what if I need this? And so we try to anticipate every possible contingency and pack for it. And yet, as we know, we can't predict. Life always has a way of throwing us all kinds of curveballs. And we have found in the past, and we will find in the future, that we just deal with them. We trust. And things are fine. Or when we remember to really focus on what's important. The people in our lives that sometimes maybe we just have gotten to the point of taking for granted. We forget to cherish them. Tell them how special. Jesus says to his followers, travel light. Travel with light hearts. There are so many things that we worry about. That we're not doing anything about them. We're just carrying the worry. We're upsetting ourselves. We're distracting ourselves from the goodness, the beauty, the amazing realities that are around us. And yet, how easy is it for us to look into our hearts and say, no, I need to hold on to this. Maybe for the rest of the summer, carry that word need around, but with a question mark. Let yourself say, do I need this? Or is it just getting in my way? Is it just cluttering up my life? And something is upsetting me. Do I need that? Am I just giving this person rent-free space in my mind for no reason? Travel light, Jesus tells us. Trust in God. What you need, what we need, are his blessings, his reassurance. What we need is to love others and to let others love us. We do that. We travel light. Or at least we travel lighthearted.